Welcome to the webinar, How to Optimize Your Marketing Campaigns to Achieve Real Results. I'm Leonie May, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Squiz, and you'll be joining me over the next 30 to 45 minutes. In today's session, we're going to show you how you can optimize your online campaigns. We'll show you how you can determine what content performs best by running experiments using A/B testing. You'll easily track what's working and iterate to improve. All of this means you can make data-driven decisions rather than relying on guesswork. You'll also see how to personalize content and ensure the right information goes to the right audience, increasing conversions and results. All of this being achieved in the Squiz DXP. Now, joining me today is Mary Claire Russell, Head of Customer and Field Marketing, showing a demonstration of how you can optimize your content and campaigns. We'll have Samantha Gilbert, Senior Product Manager, and Tyson Adams, Engineering Manager, joining us at the end of the session to answer any questions you may have. First, for some housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded and you will receive a copy via email within the next day or two. If you have any technical difficulties during the session, please use the Q&A window you can see at the icon at the bottom of your screen there. And please submit any questions into the Q&A window. Feel free to submit questions at any time. Samantha and Tyson will be answering them at the end of the session. So what we've heard from the market is that optimizing a marketing campaign is slow and hard to achieve. Now, marketing teams crave data to know what's working or not. They want to be able to make confident decisions. And the ability to test, learn, optimize quickly and iteratively is imperative to success. They need insights that drive more predictable results. But there are blockers. To set up experiments, particularly when you rely on developers, is complex, time-consuming, and costly. Marketing teams are relying too heavily on their IT and dev teams to be able to test what's working and to get those meaningful insights from their data. It's expensive and hard to manage many niche solutions. So adding new tools to do a specific job, like personalizing or optimizing content, it gets costly and can lead to bloated tech stacks. These niche tools also need to be managed, monitored, and able to talk to other tools in your stack. And this adds complexity. So we're hearing that lean teams in complex organizations don't know where to start. And today we're going to show you how you can build, optimize, and personalize your marketing campaigns fast with Squiz DXP. Our new modern page builder in the DXP brings it all together. Achieve and exceed your campaign goals through a suite of Squiz tools, including A/B testing for things like campaign pages, easy form creation, and content personalization. All of this is done from one place, the Squiz DXP. In the DXP, you can test landing page content. Use inbuilt A/B testing to understand what content variations on a landing page have better conversion rates. Tests can be run for the entire web pages to individual components on a page. You can build forms in seconds. Easily build and embed a form on a registration landing page for customers to sign up using Squiz Advanced Forms. Connect the form to your database, CRM, or other solutions for automatic data collection. And you can also personalize communications. So provide content that's relevant to your user journeys with personalized follow-up communications. You can segment audiences into groups and provide a follow-up web page that is right for their needs. And these are just some of the examples. So how can you achieve your business goals? The Squiz DXP is built for agility and control. Now, the Squiz DXP is truly composable, which means you get everything you need ready to go. This includes the core capabilities you need to build your brilliant experiences fast. You have the flexibility to go best of need from any vendor. So new tools and technologies appear all the time, and you need this flexibility to adapt. We don't lock you in. You can swap third-party tools in and out, and it will play nicely with everything without messy developer-reliant integrations. And do you have a non-Squiz CMS that you're currently using? Because that doesn't matter, as you can swap it in and it will still work seamlessly. If you choose to swap it out, it won't break any experience. And it feels and works like one solution. So what do I mean by this? The platform provides access controls, security, monitoring, and governance across all of your experiences and tech. I'm now going to pass to Marie-Claire to show you the Squiz DXP in action.
Thanks, Leonie. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary-Claire Russell, Global Head of Customer Marketing and Field Marketing ANZ here at Squiz. And what I'm going to do today is show you a demo of how you can use Squiz DXP to solve a challenge that is common to a lot of marketing teams across a wide range of industries and organisations. It's optimisation. We've all been there and know it's a continuous challenge. In our scenario today, we'll show you how you can optimise your content and campaigns to increase conversion using a webinar campaign as an example. Here at Squiz, you may know we run a wide range of webinars to keep you abreast of the latest updates in the Squiz DXP and how you can apply them to your organisation. We build a campaign around it to encourage you to attend, and a post-webinar we send you a recording and other relevant content to support you. Today, we're going to show you how it all comes alive using Squiz DXP to get the most from your campaign activity. We'll show you how you can optimize a campaign around these webinars to increase the number of attendees and the number of people who ultimately book a demo or another type of conversion to learn more. We will do this by using Squiz DXP to test what content performs best, personalize content for different audiences, and ultimately optimize for a better conversion. To paint a clear picture of what the scenario is, Squiz is hosting a webinar for a new feature release. The task is to optimize the webinar campaign from registration to follow-up, and the goal is ultimately to drive demo bookings. And you're on my team, the Squiz marketing team. Now let's start with the end user journey. The end user is scrolling on LinkedIn, and they see a post promoting the upcoming webinar. So they click on the link to learn more. They land on the registration page, which contains this registration form. Now, as a marketing team, we believe we can increase webinar registrations by reducing the number of form fields. We believe this will help to minimize friction and result in more registrations. We want to run an A/B test to see if this theory is true. To set up an A/B test, we need to go to the page builder of our registration page in Squiz Content Management. You can see here that we've embedded the form into our page of a code. We want to test a different version of the form with a smaller number of form fields, so we need to set up an A/B test for this section. We have the option to choose from our previous experience, but because it's our first time testing the number of form fields, I'll take you through how to create a new one. You can see now that we're in Squiz optimization capability. Let's specify the configurations of our tests. We'll name this test number of form fields. We're testing the difference between 3 versus 5 form fields, and our domain is squiz.net. We're going to send the 50% of our audience to each of our variants, and we're going to measure the success of our test with page views by seeing how many people saw the thank you page that appears after the registration. We'll start the experiment 3 weeks before our webinar date, and we'll end the experiment on the day of our webinar. Now, let's save our configurations. We can see that there are still some things left to configure. What we need to do is connect the experiment up to our webinar registration page. So let's go back to the CMS. The number of form field test is now available, so let's connect it. You can see now that the A/B tests have been applied. So let's switch over to variant B and add the code for the form with less fields. Earlier, we built the form in 5 minutes using Squiz Advanced Forms, which automatically generated a JavaScript code that we could simply copy and paste here. Finally, I want to specify the names for each of my variants. So let's go back to configuration page. You can also see here that the experiment is now connected to our registration page. Now we can see that the experiment is scheduled to start on the 21st of September. The results will also appear at the top here once the experiment is finished. Now let's see what variants A and B look like side by side. You can see on the left that we have version A with 5 form fields, and on the right we have version B with 3 form fields. Once the experiment is finished, we can review the results. In this case, version B with less form fields showed a 19% improvement over version A in webinar registrations. It's data points like this that we can use to make data-driven decisions in our next webinar campaign. We now know with less form fields, we can drive more conversions. Okay, let's continue the user journey. The user now sees the winning variant, which is version B with less form fields. They fill in the form and register for the webinar. Moments after they register, they receive an automated confirmation email with webinar details. This was triggered through an integration that syncs the form submission data into our CRM. It's a pre-built low-code connector to HubSpot that was really quick and easy to set up. On the day of the webinar, our registered users may or may not actually attend the webinar. Whether or not they attended, our goal as a marketing team is to keep them engaged and drive conversion, which in our case is to book a demo. What we want to do now is to follow up with all registrants. The follow-up content needs to be personalized based on the two segments, attended versus did not attend. Let's have a look at how we can do this. Within the Squiz customer data platform, we can create user segments based on their attendance behavior. You can see here that we have our two segments, attendee versus non-attendee. This data has come through Squiz integrations, which syncs webinar attendance information seamlessly from our CRM to the customer data platform. We need to personalize the content on our follow-up page so that we deliver the most relevant information to users in each segment. This is where the page lives in the back end of Squiz content management, and currently it contains generic, non-personalized content. To start with, we want the content in the hero banner above the fold to change based on the segment. And as we're at the front end experience, you'll see that it includes a heading, welcome message, CTA, as well as the webinar recording. Going back to our page builder in the back end, we set up a personalization in our hero banner. Listed here are two segments we saw in the customer data platform earlier. I'll go ahead and select advanced forms webinar attendee and non-attendee as the segments we want to personalize for. Just to note that you can add as many segments as you need, and if one user is part of more than one segment, the content will be prioritized in order of the list. We can see that this section has personalization applied. So let's switch over to the attendee segment and add content specific to them. I'm adding the same hero banner component, just with different content. We'll add a thank you message, but keep the same YouTube video of the webinar recording and the same CTA. Now, let's personalize the content for non-attendees. For this segment, we've tailored the welcome message to say, we're sorry we missed them, but we've also included a quick video demo in case they're too busy to watch the whole webinar. We've kept the same YouTube video of the webinar recording, but also added a secondary CTA for them to watch, a shorter 5-minute version. Now that we've finished personalizing this hero banner component, I'll fast forward and personalize all the other relevant content on this page. Okay, you can see we've personalized all the relevant blocks. In this section where we summarize the content of the webinar, we've personalized it for attendees so that it's blank, as this information is less relevant to them. In the accordion section where we've included the webinar Q&A, we haven't personalized the content as it's relevant to all segments. So let's see how the page looks for each segment. We have displayed the pages for the two segments side by side, attendees on the left and non-attendees on the right. You'll see that the non-attendees are also served with a secondary CTA, which gives them the option to watch a 5-minute demo. This acts as a quick teaser to encourage users to learn more, since they might not be as engaged to watch a full video. Non-attendees are also shown a punchy summary of what was covered in the webinar. Because this segment is less likely to be engaged, giving them these quick bites of information might pique their interest to discover more and move them to take action. So, how do we measure the performance of the personalized content? We've jumped back into the customer data platform here. Because all of our customer data is centralized here, it gives us one convenient place to review all our results. Here we've selected the segment that we want to see the results for, which in this case is the attendees segment. The results here show that 22 bookings were submitted on the follow-up landing page. If we look at the non-attendees, we can see from the graph that 8 demos were booked on the non-attendee landing page. If we combine that with the 22 demos booked by our attendees, that's a total of 30 booked, which is a 23% conversion from our total registrants. If we compared this to our previous webinar follow-up page that wasn't personalized, it only converted 14% of the total registrants, which means we drove a 9% increase in overall conversion by personalizing our content. With this data, our team now has evidence that personalization can increase post-webinar conversions. And that's just one example of how you can optimize your content and campaigns to increase conversion. By running these experiments and gathering more data points, it makes it easier for marketers to test and learn and make data-driven decisions for the future campaigns. That's all. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Marie-Claire. I just wanted to remind you just to put your questions into the Q&A icon that you see on your screen if you do have any questions following MC's demonstration of how you can optimize and personalize your marketing campaigns. I do have a couple of questions that have come through, so we'll just kick off with these. The first question, and I think this one will be for Sam, who we've got Sam joining from the product team here. Do you know what is a sufficient sample size to draw a meaningful conclusion for A/B tests? Is there like a best practice?
So really, to draw meaningful conclusions, the sample size required will depend on your uplift in success that you're seeking. So in the A/B testing capability, we've included a calculator, and that utilizes the desired uplift in success, your current success rate, so desired conversion rate, current conversion rate, if that's what you're looking for as your success measure, and then the daily visitor number that you tend to have to your pages, your website, to determine a sample size that is big enough to ensure a valid test. The larger the improvement that you want, the larger sample size you need to ensure that the results you're getting are actually are reliable, and that there's a statistical difference, statistical significant difference is the word I'm trying to get out, in the test results between one and the other.
Yeah, fantastic. Now I have Tyson here as well, joining from our specialized engineering team here at Squiz. I think this question will be more aimed at yourself, Tyson. Can the A/B testing be implemented on specific personalized sections of a page? Oh, just can't hear you. The old mute.
There we go. Found it. Yeah, so an A/B test can be applied to a personalized block of content. However, you can't put personalized content inside an A/B test.
Right.
Leave that in.
Yeah, that's good. So the next one is, do I need a component? Do I need the component service in order to use the modern page builder? So our component service was released last year.
Yeah. So Modern Page Builder leverages the component service so that you can force your design system styling and branding on your site, and you've got the power of component service driving that page building, authoring and delivery.
Yeah, so there is on the Squiz website, there is the link to that webinar that we held last year, all about the component service, if you do want more information on that one. This is a Sam for the product roadmap. So what is next on the roadmap for Modern Page Builder?
So there's a few things on the roadmap for Modern Page Builder. First of all, we want to improve the ability to preview in order to be able to compare test and personalization variant views. So we saw in the demo from Marie-Claire that you put up 2 variants for an A/B test, and also when you're personalizing, you can have 1 or more different variants that are being presented to your customers depending on the segment they're in. And when building that, it's often useful to be able to see, well, what does that look like? To be able to flip back and forth and see, oh, what does that going to look like for each each user type or the 2 different variants. And so we're just building in some improved previewing into the modern page builder to support that. So that's the first thing. We're also putting in simplified support for page history viewing to make it easier to look at the history of the page over time as you've adjusted and developed it. We're going to be adding more out-of-the-box component blocks. So when you build a page, you use the component service, and with Modern Page Builder, we give you a set of pre-designed components out of the block that you can choose to use, or you can actually use the component service to build your own. But we're continuously adding to that out-of-the-box set so that you're in a position to just get going straight away without having to build any components if you'd like to. We're putting in advanced A/B test result analysis reporting. So at the moment, the reporting for A/B testing is a first past the post kind of report. It just shows you who got, which variant got the most success outcomes. But we want to add some nuance to that reporting to talk about whether it's a statistically significant difference in order for you to make better decisions about which variant might be best to use. Increasing the traffic distribution options for A/B tests. At the moment, it's a percentage-based traffic distribution option. So you can say, I want 10% of my traffic to go to variant A and 90% to go to variant B. But what we want to introduce is other options for how you might decide who goes where. So for example, segmentation. So you could say, I want my international visitors to go to variant A and my domestic visitors to go to variant B. So support for that kind of segment distribution. Multi-factor segmentation support. So at the moment with multi-factor segmentation will mean we'll be introducing being able to segment based on multiple factors. So you could say, for example, if this person is in the over 50s age demographic and they've visited this page more than 3 times, let's put them in the personal assistance required segment. So it's based on multiple factors that you're deciding to put them in. And along the same lines of that, we're looking at introducing search-based segmentation assignment so that you can set up rules that say, if a person has searched on my site using this sequence of queries, then I want to put them in the international students segment, or I want to put them in the domestic student segment or whatever. So you have the ability to set up a series of rules and depending on their search behavior can automatically put them in a segment for controlling what they might see in the future or from their next point on. So it would be automatic in that they go into that segment, and then from that point on you start showing them stuff relevant to that segment at a higher priority than stuff that's not relevant to that segment.
So it sounds like there's a lot.
And that's kind of what's on the roadmap. Yeah, there's a lot on the roadmap.
A lot of making life easier for customers. So yeah, if anyone would like to know more, just a reminder to send your questions to ask@squiz.net. I'll bring it up at the end of the session. If there are any questions that come up after or today when you're thinking about what's new. Another question, I'm not sure if Tyson or Sam would like to handle this one. Is it available now? If so, how can I get access?
Sure, I can answer that one.
Great.
If you want.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're on the latest subscription model for DXP, it is available right now. All you need to do is talk to your account manager. They'll get that activated for you in your Matrix instance. And once that's available, you'll be able to access the new page builder features via a content page asset. So yeah, just get in touch with your AM and we'll be able to get that up and running for you.
Perfect. And then the next question, very similar, if not the same, is Modern Page Builder available now? That's just answered.
Absolutely, yes.
So that's the end of the session. As mentioned, it's a bit of a shorter session today, so I hope you got a lot out of it and enjoyed the show. If you do have any questions, I'll just bring it up now. Please send questions through to ask@squiz.net and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We will have a recording of this and you will receive it in the next day or two. So thank you very much for joining. We hope you got a lot out of it and we'll see you next time.